Hi, everyone. It looks like we're ready to get started. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the question box on your screen and we'll answer them at the end. John, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Horner. I'm the Senior Safety and Training Consultant for P3 Propane Safety. I've been in the industry for about 14 years now, working for Ferrellgas and Meritum Energy Holdings as a regional manager and gradually into the safety department. So came to P3 about 2 months ago, and I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Ed Lockwood with Adirondack Energy. Ed, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, John, thank you very much. My name is Ed Lockwood. I'm the Director of Operations for Adirondack Energy. I've been in the fuel oil propane business for about 17 years in all sorts of forms, different positions from service techs to helping on the phones to collections to the safety manager, now the director. My position here at Adirondack Energy Products Inc. is that we're a very diverse company and with numerous locations. So yeah, we're busy and just busy. It's a good business to be in.
It is indeed. I missed the retail side a little bit. So our meeting today is on the importance of monthly safety meetings. And to get started with that, I'd like to say, well, one of the most important reasons to have monthly safety meeting is because it's mandated in 49 CFR subpart H on training. You are required, anybody that has hazardous materials transportation as part of their business, to have a monthly safety meeting, including subjects such as general awareness, function-specific training, emergency response, security awareness, and OSHA, EPA, and obviously DOT. So that's probably the most important reason to have them, but there's a lot of other reasons. Ed, can you tell me what were some of the challenges you had with keeping up with monthly safety meetings prior to using the P3 propane safety system?
Yeah, absolutely, John. So, before we had these the safety meetings from P3 sent to us, I think about our daily routine and the things that we come across, and we try and schedule, and it gets pushed back. And I back in the day when we were doing them by hand, I'd write some notes on a piece of paper, call my other satellite locations, let them know the day I'd go out, and then kind of write my own notes down, kind of ask a few questions to try and get employees engaged. That's one of the hardest things, right? Trying to get the employees engaged and just go over a topic, write down the notes, and then we just file it. We know, we always knew safety is important in this business. I mean, without a doubt. But the meeting minutes, they were tough. It was hard. You never could get the employees engaged. And even filing, I know it's a law, but really, what's that mean, right? I mean, well, we'll do it part way, and we'll call it good. So that was definitely hard. That was definitely a challenge for us, John.
Yep, I understand. Did that for many a year, and finding something to keep the guys involved in the meeting. The drivers and service techs are all very busy people. We all know that, especially this time of year. So just to keep their attention instead of having them out thinking about something else. So you need a good, well put together program to follow. And as you can see on your screen, we have one of ours up. And so we're not going to talk entirely about this, but if we could just go through a little bit, it breaks down one topic for you for the month, gives you proper procedures for handling it. And if we scroll down, page 2 here. Jane, are you there? There we go. Comes with great pictures that you can actually look at with your employees so they can see exactly. You're not out there doing it hands-on, but you can walk them through it with it. Talks about the inspection, training on and testing for cathodic protection. and every one of ours also has a test at the end of it. So you're supposed to test your employees. There are no set hard and fast rules on how many questions or grading of it, but you need to test them, you need to fill it out, you need to keep it in an employee file. So we give you all that with just the packet that comes in the mail to you. You can get the whole training a year in advance, so on and so forth. If you're interested, we'll move on. Let's talk more about the meetings. So Ed, how is it that, how are your meetings going since you've been using that? So are your employees, how are the drivers, are they taking meetings? Do they take too long?
No, John. This P3 safety meeting, like I said, is fantastic. It keeps me organized, right? It keeps my office manager organized. During the meetings now, we have specific things we can walk through. We talk about it, right? You go around and you can ask, John or Paul, hey, what do you guys think about this? Do you understand this? We can engage the employees better, knowing that it's a standard for one. So all the locations, the same message is going to get across to all my locations. The employees are then engaged in it, and they're specific, the safety topic, but they don't dive right into it. So like the cathodic protection, it's really one of my favorite safety meetings that you guys have P3 has given to me. I just remember it, talking to the service tech. He's saying we got to put these sandbags or the annoy bags in the ground. Okay, so we can just throw them anywhere. It doesn't really say, in the safety meeting, but okay, now their minds are thinking, right? We're starting to have a conversation in a meeting that pertains to their job and to their safety and to the company's, success. So then, once we do all this, we engage further. Okay, no, that bag should be put in sand. You know what I mean? And I can get them more training at what they want, but the message is the same across the board. And one of the neatest things with cathodic protection or this safety meeting is, we say text drivers, these are really important, but now when that new customer calls us, John, and they say, hey, I want to become a customer of Adirondack Energies or of your company, and we start asking the questions, safety, what do they use it for? What kind of equipment do they have there now? And they tell us, oh, I have a 500 underground tank. My CSR can say, oh, well, okay, that's interesting. Now we need to schedule, a test where we can go out there and test that beforehand. And, even in the past, if I was to do this training by myself, and they would have never got that out of it. And this, because they were engaged into it and we had good conversations. It's good for the company, it's good for all the employees, and they're all getting something out of them now. They're just organized, and I can't say enough about them.
Thanks, Ed. I think also that one of the things you get out of this is each of these sections are short, probably can be done in 15, 20 minutes. So you can always add in, if you need to, something that's major going on. If you're having a rash of leaks, if you want to talk about doing a leak test, or if you're having major snowfalls, you want to talk a little bit about making sure that your regulators are covered and so they're not packing ice on top of them. Things like that. You can throw in a little extra every time you have a meeting. Your guys are engaged already. They're not hearing the same thing every time you meet with them. After being in the business for 20 years as a driver of a truck, you have people that it's a safety meeting, I'm going to play solitaire on my phone or whatever on my phone. I've heard all this before. This keeps them engaged, starts building that culture of safety that we all need to have within our companies. So,
yeah, 100%, John. 100%. They're engaged. And another cool thing about the P3 meetings is they come out to us. I get them like annually, right? I'll get 12 of them at once. So like you said, if I start to see a trend or something going on, I could pull one of the old ones out. Nothing says I can't do 2 meetings in a month or one of them old topics, or use that one as another topic again, so we can review the procedures, make sure everybody's on the same page, and put that issue to bed and worry about the next one. That's another real a good thing with these meetings, these safety meetings, the way that P3 does it.
I agree. You can always put it back even if you're having just an issue with one individual, you can always pull that safety meeting back out and go over it with them in private. And we don't have to make a big deal and everybody have to go through it. We just have that one person go back through that same training. So it's real convenient. It keeps it fresh in everybody's mind, and it doesn't become burdensome or to the point that people dread coming to the meetings each month.
Yep, I agree.
Great. Okay, so did you guys have any other final thoughts, or do we want to turn it over to questions?
Open
Just one other thing that we have, these are really good. A tool that the way I use them as well is for new employees. If I have a new employee, before they come out and go through, I make them, kind of go through these. It's a real general sense of safety that they're getting something out of it, but it's something that I would have never done without these. So just another way I use the tool.
Great. Okay, so we're just gonna see if any questions come through. Feel free to type your questions in and we'll get those answered. Okay, so the first question we have is, can all of these be sent digitally? So I can go ahead and answer that, and yes, they can. We can send you the PDFs. The next question is, we have multiple locations, 1 to 3 hours or 1.5 hours away. Do you feel it beneficial for the drive, or do I meet with the group via video? Some are not that tech savvy.
I can only speak from my own experience in this, and when I was covering half the state of Texas, I would have some drives that were over 30 hours, but I always made it to be in person. It takes some scheduling, but you have your plant manager or lead person that's managed at the plant. Pick a day and schedule it out to where you can show up and be there in person for the training. It makes the average employee just realize how important safety is to the company.
Great, and the next question is, does the info change from year to year?
We're developing more safety meetings. We're working on that now. So I believe right now we have 18 and we've got more in development. So yes.
And then somebody wrote in that they use the P3 training and they work great. So that seems like it wraps up all the questions we got, but if you guys have any more, you can of course reach out to the P3 team. Awesome. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up unless anybody had anything else. Great. Well, thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.